spark, hurling torches, skies light up. Smoke that city fast to cold. Rise up, stand tall. Hands on max will always guide our way. Homemade weapons on the ground. Rise up, stand tall. From hidden safe houses, a great escape. Covered faces joining the fight. We'll start the revolution. Spray paint guides our rebellion. We can change the hearts and minds. Find peace within destruction. Brick stone, shattered glass exploding past. Soaked in blood will run. Draw your knives, embrace the dark. The time has come. One by one we'll end them all. Rise up, stand tall. A call to arms and on the airwaves. Join the riots in the Hello and welcome to Tuesday night. Yes, it is Tuesday night. I am thrown off. I'm not sure what day it is. The long weekend and the Monday game has completely confused me. It is our Tuesday night Talking Parra League's live show. Once again, thanks to our sponsors. We'll start with them. Riverside Brewing Co. Time for a chat. ZMS Trophies, Tony Mustafa, Mortgage Choice, Tate Sports Card, Non-Stop Landscapes, BMA Trucking, X-Visory, Spot on Hose and Fittings, Eurowork, Parra Leagues, and welcome on board to the new ones. JD Buyers Agents, I think that happened the week before. We'll give them another plug. And Bay Vista. Bay Vista coming on board as well. That was in the last week. Haven't added them to the logo introduction thing. I just realized as I was watching that because I, as I said, have no idea what day it is. I'm so confused. I'm that thrown off. Monday games suck. Like, it was great being there, don't get me wrong, but they suck just to try and work. I've been trying to get posts out all day. Hayden's annoying me with messages. But here's my vlog. I was like, what are you sending me a vlog for? That goes out on Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday afternoon when he sent it to me. So wonderful day there, though. Let's start off with some of the stuff first of all. It is a bye week. Now, we're not meant to be doing a giveaway this week at all because it's a bye week. So Parra Leagues haven't obviously given us thing to do a giveaway this week. But peer pressure is a thing, isn't it, Jason? Now, you swore quite a lot last week. So is X-Visory, because they didn't have to buy a drink on the weekend, are they happy to do like a hoodie or something as a giveaway this week? Or like,
yeah,
do you want to do that for the fans? Like, you have to do
150. 150.
Oh, you get a good discount, don't you? So whatever it comes down to, about 120.
No.
You want to do that? You want to do a hoodie? It's getting cold.
Good. As long as you get my logo right.
Yeah, I'll picture like, all right, there you go. All right, so there's some simple rules as well. All right, so our usual thing. Share this right now. Once you've shared it, comment shared, and we'll give Jason a bit of time to pick out what he wants to give away. And at the end, we'll give away some kind of Parramatta merch. All right. Thanks to Jason, X-Visory. Obviously, the rules are you have to be following X-Visory. I don't know how to post a link. Go search it. But you've obviously got time for that after, and we'll look after that as well. So, all right. Let's go to the piss head up the top. Troy Warner, mate, you're in a brewery yesterday. You started singing. How you traveling?
I'm pretty good, mate. Pretty happy, you know. Don't have to worry about these games this weekend.
Riverside Brewing Company. Oh yeah! That's me to play to you. And there's nothing else could say what I've ever met.
At least he's singing and not
Oh, yeah. Touching you, sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba.
Sorry, that should have come with a warning before I played that. I'm very sorry.
National embarrassment.
I'm going to have to consult Jason on a few issues, I think, and get a letter sent to Adam, I think.
Workplace bullying.
We said to Troy, I just kept pouring drinks down him, and we took the do the live podcast, took the young fella's karaoke machine, and played a bit of music, and I knew we'd get Troy up there. I knew it wouldn't take much. And we got him up there, and it was fantastic. And then I didn't expect Jace to come up, but Jace was keen. He was up there like that, singing a song he actually didn't even know. So of course I had to save it and get the and get the crowd going with some Sweet Caroline. But you didn't escape, Hayden. Next time we're on, you're up. He was sitting there. We wanted him to get up and sing some Taylor Swift, and he couldn't do it. Anyway, back Troy. Let's touch on that event first of all. Good event, mate. Thanks to Riverside Brewing Co. for having us. How was it?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
I'm just joking. I'm not going to do it again. Yes, I'm not going to do it again.
Oh, happy to do it again if you want. It doesn't matter. No, it was great. It was good spread put on, some pizzas there. The Riverside beer was good as well. Did you like my plug during the song for them actually as well? I got them into it.
Yeah, you did well. You actually did really well.
Yeah, see, there
They're
you go.
laid up for the lack of talent. So
yeah,
that's for sure.
But no, it was good. Good to see some viewers and listeners of the podcast there. And I think everyone enjoyed themselves and had fun.
I think we had about 63, 64 through the door going off the lucky door tickets I handed out. So pretty good turnout for first one. Obviously, first time we tried to do something like that. So it was an awesome day out. Obviously, some thanks as well. Grazing for you for supplying that grazing board. I haven't got a picture of it. I've saved on my Instagram story, but I'll make sure I chuck that up again. It was fantastic. There was a lot left over because that was huge. And they did a wonderful job at supplying that for us. Riverside Brewing Co. said, put on a great event, supplied the pizzas as well. Good day all round. So thanks for having us, guys. We'll be back and try and organise something later on. Hayden, your thoughts on the event and your day before we get to the game?
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Great event. I arrived just a little bit late due to catching the train. Didn't drive for this particular game after a big weekend. Beers from Riverside were absolutely fantastic. As you mentioned, the Grazing for You platter as well was really, really good as well. And then pizzas there out the back for everyone. I'm getting distracted here because there seems to be a cat outside, but it's a false alarm, guys. It's Sania Taruva, so it's all good. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic out there and great to engage with the fans.
Yeah, for sure. Jace, besides you singing and the fact you had to get out of bed early to get there at 12 o'clock, how was it?
Look, if you give me a song that I know, I'd
You
sing it a lot better.
Well, you had a choice.
No,
I don't understand what song
my friend Esther picked it. She called me out. So after I got called out, I've got to go up. What do you do? And I simply the best. I know it from footy ads. That's all I know it from. So anyway, next time, bit of Linkin Park or Backstreet Boys, and I'll smash it. All good.
Oh, the Backstreet Boys went off. I would have been a massive fan of that. Jack, you didn't get to join in the karaoke. How was your Easter weekend?
No, Easter weekend was good. Obviously getting the dub was beautiful. Getting to see John Cena win his 17th world title was just as good, not as good, but looked like you boys had good fun. I was getting some FOMO up in the Sunshine State watching you boys.
Yeah, WrestleMania was actually on. We had WrestleMania right at the brewery.
Boring.
And it was the worst WrestleMania. It was just nothing happened. Raw was even actually probably better than the whole WrestleMania day. But
The most exciting part was Stone Cold with his motorbike running into the barrier.
Actually crashed it twice. This isn't a wrestling podcast. We're getting way off track. We actually crashed it twice. But look, we'll get to the game pretty soon. But we obviously thank Bay Vista as well for breakfast. There's Troy. Troy with his breakfast. They hooked up with us. Some of us for breakfast on Monday morning. Yes, thanks for coming on board. We've got a voucher to give away, a $50 voucher to give away. Pick the score not every home game, but every game at Combank Stadium. We've got a voucher to give away thanks to Bay Vista. So it was a lucky winner on the weekend. Troy actually went very close, got the same score, but he wasn't quite there, and he's not able to enter even though he tried to. He'll do anything for a free feed, this guy, that's for sure. All right, let's move on from that. Let's get to the game, eh? We had a win. Fantastic. We look like a different team with Mitchell Moses. It's amazing what one player can do, but our backline all of a sudden had the speed we expected to have. I guess the speed that me and Jason saw when we were down that hospitality corporate training day, wasn't it, Jason? It looked so much better there, the way they moved the ball across the backline, and it was there. It was there for the first time this week with Mitchell Moses in. Dylan Brown, when Dylan Brown's running for 201 metres, Dylan Brown's playing his natural game, and he's allowed to play that the way Mitchell Moses plays. And bringing Iongi into it as well, Iongi looked like a top 5 fullback outside Mitchell Moses, and our backs all did their job. Our forwards went forward, and they did it off the back of Mitchell Moses' kicking game. So if you think that Mitchell Moses wasn't going to have an immediate impact on this team and make them play a lot better, you got rocks in your head. it's pretty much how I want to put that. So, Jason, are you frozen? You look frozen down there. Yeah, he's moving. He's all right. Because he's just fixed everything. Like, obviously, defensively, we're much better off because of his kicking game. Like, his first kick, I turned to someone around me. I don't even know who it was. And I said, like, he landed on the 5 meter line straight up. You know, it had the winger going back trying to catch it. And from that, the tone was set. Like, if it wasn't for those 2 rubbish sin bins, we win that game, I think, by 30 or 40. We'll get to that. Stop shaking your head. Stop shaking your head down there. We'll fall off. Jack, we'll go to you first because you watched the game on TV. Your thoughts on the actual game?
The Glogally household was running rampant on a Monday afternoon. We had some very choice words when we got to 26-22 with 10 to go. But Moses' kicking game just made everything so much easier. Our forwards didn't have to do so much work because we kept them down their own end. Really happy to see the fight back we had to when we got back to 13-13 to really just put him to the sword and put that game away. Very, very happy man.
Yeah, for sure. Troy Warner, overall game thoughts?
Yes, well, I'm not going to get cut off here, am I?
No, you've had your share of being cut off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, look, first,
just don't waffle.
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Jason Riles on getting his first away victory. That's a great thing for him. That'll give him confidence. That is for sure. But look, the Eels, they treated Easter Monday like a Easter egg hunt. That was supposed to be on Sunday, but they did it on Monday, finding holes in the Tigers' defence. It was good to see. You guys thought that Mitchell Moses was the player of the match. I thought Sam Tuivasa was the player of the match, even though he played 33 minutes. But he had a massive impact. Scored that try. Congratulations, scored that first try. And it's great to get a win and score some points as well.
Yeah, I thought Sam was huge. We actually weren't going to play the matches yet, but we'll get to that. But we'll discuss it soon.
Yeah.
Cool. Jason, your thoughts on the game?
Besides the horrible reffing, yeah, it was great. One thing I liked is that despite Melbourne and Canberra, and we can have all the excuses in the world, we've seen how the defense was improving and we saw the resilience, and that really showed when we went down to 11 men. I've never seen, maybe since 22, us really get stuck in. We won against St. George from coming from behind. We won in this game because we just stuck in and we were resilient and dug deep for each other. It was just amazing to see. Like Riley was just off his feet. Like he was barely running back and he was just making tackle. Everybody was pushing. Everybody was tackling. Everyone was getting back. It was just so great to see. And anyone that thinks Moses doesn't impact our team, what an absolute, like, just hang your head in shame. Moses is a freak. He just, oh my God. Like, we are a top 4 side with Moses. I'm going to say it now. We are a top 4 side with Moses in the team. We looked unbelievable. We won a game 11. That's just unbelievable. We can put aside for this game that we've got things to improve on. They scored 2 or 3 tries against 11 men. Like, come on. Like, I wish we play like that every week. Because 13 on 13, we pumped them 38 points to 10, 13 on 13. So,
do you want to give us your thoughts on those sin bins quickly? Because I know you're angry about
it. Well, Mitch in the post game said that they were warned about the push and shove.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I can understand why Moretti went to the bin because of the warning. But if that's a 10 in the bin because he went on with it after a warning, then Taruva gets sent off.
The two blokes drag him already over the sideline when it was 2-on-1 should have gone as well if they're being fair.
Exactly, that's ridiculous. Like he was just squaring it up, but Taruva should have got sent. Seriously, but if they got a warning about that, okay. How Oyongi gets put 10 in the bin is just beyond me. That's not a professional foul. He touches him after the ball's been touched. Who was it? I can't remember who it was now. The Tigers. Who was it?
Toa, wasn't it?
Toa.
Yeah.
Toa jumps and grabs the ball, and that's when Oyongi actually touches him. You can say it's simultaneous if you really want to get technical, but that's not a professional foul. And Sean Russell was right behind him. And
it
was
20 meters out too.
Yeah, 30 meters out. Like
30.
These calls against us, like even the penalty try, what the fuck was that? These refs, honestly.
He's talking about the week before. That's following along.
Yeah, I know. It was a tough game. It was a tough game for the ref. But he got very happy about giving 6 agains and penalties away. And I think he was just on that happy run of just like, oh, it looks bad, so I should just, I reckon if they challenge that, the video ref says simultaneous, all good, no professional foul. We forgot about our challenges. I don't know what happened there as well. There was a few times we should have challenged. Anyway, just the refs all need to go back to some sort of reffing school and do a crash course, intensive crash course, and get all the interpretations and rules right, and go back to black and white, just like the Tigers' second try. It was the second or third try that there was a clear obstruction on Kelma. That killed me. All of a sudden, we've forgotten about the outside shoulder. Outside shoulder, all good now. All good. Just run outside shoulder, and it hasn't impacted the play. Fuck off. What happened to the black and white?
Without a ref, you don't have a game.
That's why this is why he's got to give up that prize, guys. It's repeated infringements. 6 again. Hayden, moving on to you. Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, well, after 40 minutes of Jason speaking, it's good to have my input here. First of all, big shout out to the Parramatta crowd. You guys were absolutely killing it. We're trying to create noise in an away bay in the Swarm, and that crowd was getting into it. Shout out to people who watched it from home as well and got up and just loved it. So, as for the game itself, the moment that we made that first tackle and dragged him back.
He pretty much shouted everyone but the Pope who didn't watch it. So anyway, go ahead.
Look, the defense was absolutely incredible from that first set. It obviously leaked a lot of points later in the game, but from that first set, you felt like a different side, a side that had their captain out there, a team that was structured. And then Moses obviously throws that ball to Addo Carr. And you just see when Parramatta have the ball, they look so dangerous, even though the Tigers were getting downfield easy defensively. If we had that ball all night, we were just going to score points. And it felt like it was, I'll be honest, even when we had, 11 men on the field, it still felt like we were going to win that game. It didn't feel like it was slipping away because of how good we were playing. It reminded me a lot of that game a few years ago where we were winning by, 6 points and ended up winning by 14, 16 points a core. It didn't feel like it was going to be a 13-pluser, but there you go, Adam. Eels 13-plus. It came in hot for you.
Told you. Easy money. Absolute easy money. $4.80. Actually put that to $5.25 before kickoff. I was pretty angry about that, but certainly made me money there. All I needed was Moe to crash over, and I would have been going to Vegas, even though we probably aren't. I would have been going anyway because it would have made me that much money. I had a multi that was first try scorer into a couple of different try scorers in a Parramatta 13-plus. I think it was worth about $6,000 or something, $6,800. But unfortunately for me, Moe couldn't get over the line. But look, he had a fantastic game, Mitchell Moses, on his return. Ignore this graphic. It's long at 6 being upgraded. But 9 runs, 76 run meters, ended up with 4 try assists and 2 line break assists. Obviously, one of those line break assists probably is now down to 1 and became a try assist. But I had an interesting conversation with my perspective, is that the word I'm after? Potential father-in-law on the way down. He told me, we've been down there all weekend, and he told me that Mitchell Moses will probably struggle. Obviously he's missed a lot of footy, like he's probably going to struggle in the game, but it was like that Cronulla game last year. He just come back in, hadn't played much football, and just stepped back in like he had been playing there and had not missed a game. He didn't look to struggle at all. Obviously didn't do the goal kicking early on, and Sean Russell obviously flunked quite a 2 of them, but took the final one. Give us your, obviously, player of the match. I know Troy's got a different, but Jack, your thoughts on Moses' performance and, I guess, your player of the match if it wasn't Mitch Moses, or any honourable mentions you want to give out?
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. I was saying it to Chris at the start of the game. He kicked that 40-20, I will say. I thought of Troy the second he kicked that 40-20. And you knew straight on he was on there. That first try. We've been doing that cutout ball to Fox all year, and it's been going out. So, yeah, everything he touches turned to gold. I want to give a massive shout out to Simonson. I thought he was absolutely insane. His yardage, he's coming out of yardage. He just busted as many tackles as possible. Those post contacts were insane. But clear cut, I have Moses man of the match, but in fairness, I was giving Moses man of the match before the game even started.
Fair.
Had the feeling.
Yeah, he had that feeling. Jace, your man of the match, and your thoughts on Mitchell's performance?
Yeah, I want to add to that. It wasn't the 40-20. It was his first kick inside our own half that landed 5 meters from their try line. And Adam turns to me and says, Mitch Moses, I've missed you.
I knew I turned to someone. I didn't know who I turned to. I knew I turned to someone.
How many drinks did you have, Adam?
I drove. I think I shooting to the pub and one drinking. I was loading up on the free waters in the Tigers Field Club. Thanks to the Tigers as well for looking after us. It was not as good as the Parramatta Field Club, but they certainly come in clutch, looked after us and helped us out with, obviously they didn't help us out. They didn't give them to us guys. We can't be bought off by opposition teams. This isn't talking Tigers, but they certainly made it easy for us. And, it's obviously a pretty bit of a hard one there, but it was a good experience besides one bloke being an absolute flog. And we let him know it was a flog on the way out, but it's a pretty good day all around besides that. Hayden, your thoughts? Mitchell Moses' performance, your man of the match?
Yeah, on Easter Sunday, the Lord had risen and he passed the ball to Josh Addo-Carr for the first try at CommBank Stadium. Mitchell Moses with an absolute killer performance. As you said, 4 tries. This your bold prediction, which I'm sure you'll be getting to soon.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. We're getting
I won't spoil it. Obviously, a massive honourable mention to 2 players. One, Troy mentioned, Sam Tuivasa. Easily his best game in an Eels jersey, and effort for half an hour was absolutely so good. And then Isaiah Iongi in defence as well. He was, first up in defence for some big moments. He was doing those Gutho plays as well, just getting under the ball as well. So, yeah, big game from Isaiah Iongi. But Mitchell Moses, without him, we probably don't win that game.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Troy, you've got a different man of the match. So give us who your man of the match was and your reasons why. Then let you know about his performance and then Mitchell's performance.
Yeah, well, I'll start with Mitch. It's like he never missed a beat, wasn't it? And just, does anybody know the reason why he's growing the mo?
He's a father of 2. Wisdom.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right. I thought it might have just been a connection thing between the boys, grow the beard, grow the hair or something, but a bit of facial hair. But no, it never looked like he missed a beat. It was great to see him back. And other than that, Josh Addo-Carr as well. I thought he was pretty impressive as well. A little bit worried with him at fullback though, being out of position here and there. But, he doesn't play fullback a lot, but he's certainly finding his feet in this Parramatta team. And I think it's his 4th game in the side. But yeah, Sam Tuivasa, unfortunately, he went off for a HIA, I think, as well, which stunned a bit of his game time, I thought. He would have got longer, I thought, just the way he was going. And as someone mentioned in the comments there, Jack Bird's not going to forget him. He could keep him in his nightmares for a long time to come. But and it just showed you, too, when he scored that try, how excited his teammates were for him to score that try, which was really good to see as well.
He doesn't look like a crack fiend. He looks like a 14-year-old growing his first moustache. It makes him look about 10 years younger. Mitchell Moses.
Maybe it's an upcoming sponsorship deal. Who knows?
Yeah.
Can we just again just focus on the impact of Mitch and what Raul said in the press conference as well, that his kicks go 10 meters longer, 10 meters higher. That extra hang time, that extra positional kick, that gives the forwards time. They run up, they get time, they set the line, they're less gassed, they're less work to do, less tackles to do, less running. It's less everything in terms of how much effort needs to be put in, and more impact in terms of attack. Mitch, the best thing about Mitch when he was talking at halftime and full time was talking about how he could improve himself, what the team needed to do in order to win and be better, and was straight away like, yeah, good to get the win, good to be back, but X, Y, Z, things need to be improved. We need to keep going. Mitch's mentality is, I want to play finals. And I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. He has not given up on the year. He has not given up on the team. And he's so focused on footy that he was almost just dismissing and ignoring questions after the game from NRL 360 because he just wanted to talk about footy and move on.
No, you
You
just
want
want
to talk about anything else?
it was quite clear he hates Buzz Rothfield and that NRL.
He must hate him. He must absolutely hate him.
Especially when he asked him about Galvin.
Yeah, he wanted nothing to do with it, eh? Like, even though, like, Mitch had already come out and spoke on SEN radio about it, and as soon as Buzz asked pretty much the same question, he just ignored him and just nothing. Gave him absolutely nothing. Look, let's get to this after those performances, obviously talking about them. We're going to touch on something later, but someone just said in the comments, like, Luca Moretti and Sam Tuivasa have just stepped up big time. So I want to give both of them a bit of a shout out. Like, they're young, they're obviously not that experienced, but they're getting there and they're just getting through their minutes and having a massive impact. Like, we need to start, if Sam keeps going the way he is, I put this in another group today, bring back the Fui, but with Tui. It's got to happen. We've got to have another. First it was Mark Tui, then it was Tui. Every time Sam Tuivasa runs the ball, it's got to be Tui. It's going to happen. I'm going to make
something
that
the Swarm can start up, eh?
Hey, you're the man for that. I want you to start leading that with your annoying screaming voice. I want you to lead that. But let's get on to some other performances. In the runs, Bailey Simonson, 21 runs. Isaiah Yongi, 16. Dylan Brown, 14. Run meters, Bailey Simonson, 202. Second game back, second time he's cracked 200. Oh, I think, did he get 198 last week? He's averaging 200, I believe. Dylan Brown, 201. Any game where Dylan Brown runs for 201 meters means we're on. Isaiah Yongi, 135. Adakar, 134. Junior Paulo stepped it back up this week with 128. Tries, Adakar 2, Iongi 2, Bailey 1, Tuivasa 1, Kelma 1. Tackles, Riley Smith with 36. Congratulations on the 80-minute performance as well. That was huge by Riley. He didn't get a Defender of the Week award. Look, he did miss 7 tackles in the middle of the field, which obviously isn't a great percentage, but when you're playing 80 minutes for the first time, you're going to fall off. It's up to the boys around you to lift and obviously help you out there. But Jermaine Hopgood, 33. Jack Williams, 24. Kelma Tuangi, 23. Tackle breaks, Bailey with 9. Isaiah Iongi with 5. Sam Tuivasa, 5. Josh Adakar, 4. As your Euro work top performers. I'll go to you first. Jason, who impressed you the most? Just looking at those stats there. Who stepped it up this week?
I really loved Moses and Simo. Obvious. Moses completely obvious. Josh Adokar in a bit of space was absolutely delightful. Absolutely delightful. To see him burn Taruva twice just because of the speed and the way that he took the ball outside and then gave himself the line and some of the tiptoeing to score that try. It was really good to see him in some space finally. And that was all Moses. It was all Moses. Finally, the back line knows where to go and what to be. Like, Moses just controlling. It was amazing. And, Dylan Walker as well. Dylan Walker straightening things up and making it easier for Moses. But, great to see Josh Adokar in some space and not just taking dumb hit-ups with 4 people smashing him.
Yeah. Hayden, who impressed you off this list? Just looking through, pick one. Pick one person.
Yeah, for me, it's Bailey Simonson, especially that last try that he scored, that kick. I know it's full credit to Bailey, but I was just imagining Zach Lomax being that one to chase that kick and how good that play is going to be in the future. It's sort of that Burton-Fox combination we saw at the Dogs, but now we've got it between Mitch and Bailey. So, big game from Bailey there at the end.
Troy?
I think Kelma, actually, he's returned back to first grade.
1 week return back to first grade.
Yeah, I know. Look, despite his shoulder charge. But, scored a try, which was a good line run there. And, as you can see there, made 23 tackles as well. So I think Kelma was probably not mentioned as much as the other guys. Yeah.
Jack, your top performer off that list? Obviously, top
I'm going to take advantage of it and go Dylan Brown. Whenever him and Moses play together, he just looks so much more comfortable. I had him as my last leg as a try scorer, so to watch him run 3/4 of the field was both beautiful and heartbreaking. But it's good to see. The more he runs, the more space opens up when he does decide to play make. He's always been much better as a run first, play make second. And Moses just makes his life so much easier.
I saved him for you, Jack. I was going to say Dylan, but
I really appreciate it. I was very scared going last. I was hoping I was going to stumble up anyway.
And you literally saved your last leg for Dylan too, didn't you? Literally.
I did. I did.
Thanks, Troy. That was good from you. That was actually good from you. That's one joke for the month. Yeah, Russell had the dog in him. I love Russell coming back in and how he's played in the centres. But let's talk about that quickly because obviously all just spoken about Bailey. Bailey come in for Zach Lomax. Bailey ain't getting dropped. Now, there's a little bit of a rumour floating around that Zach could be good to go as soon as Magic Round, which is obviously our next game. I'm still hearing, it's not confirmed, FYI, it's just saying I've been sent a couple of times. I'm still hearing Newcastle game is more likely on the 16th of May, but hypothetically, when he does come back, whether it be next round or the round after, what are we doing? Like, is Bailey going to the centres? Is Russell dropping out? Lomax comes back in on the wing because Penasini's looks so much more comfortable, obviously, on that right edge. And, Bailey's looked very comfortable outside of it. Bailey's obviously going to have a few more minutes up by then under his belt, but he's doing such a good job on the wing. It's going to be a hard call for Jason Ryles, what he does, because Russell showed me something. The obvious one is Russell will drop out, Bailey will go in the centres. Hayden, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Bailey will probably go into the centres, but I can see an argue for both case. Bailey's form over the last 2 weeks has been exceptional. So, yeah, I thought Lomax would be out for a bit longer and we'd have more time to think about this. But yeah, if I'm Riles, I guess you put Bailey in the centres, move Lomax on the wing because that's where he plays his best footy. And as I said, I was imagining Lomax chasing that kick yesterday afternoon as soon as Mitch kicked it.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
It's tough because Russell's had a crack, really good cracks into be moved to the centres, but you can't drop Bailey. Penasini's an infinitely better player on the right side with Moses. Lomax slides to that wing. Russell, it's good having someone who's playing as well as him knocking down the door. It's going to keep the rest of the back five on their toes. But I would drop Russell and slide Simo into that left centre next to Fox.
Yeah. Jason, what are you doing?
I think it's a like for like, unfortunately, as well as Simo is playing. I think Simo gets dropped, Lomax gets put straight back in. I think that's the way it is. Russell's played too well in the centres, especially defensively. For the back line to change again and have another change in defensive structures, I don't think is advisable. But you never know. Riles might want to try it out. But if we're wanting to stick to that winning form, it's literally just a like for like. Zach will run for 190, 200 meters anyway. So I think it's just a straight swap out.
Just the thought if he can still run for that 180, 190 meters, and like Russell's obviously tried, but having then Zach come in and do that, it's going to be huge. Like if you've got Will's meters were down. Like I personally believe Will could be the one in trouble being dropped. But I haven't done the good, the bad, the ugly this week. But if I was going to do it, and it's hard to say after a win, but the ugly was Will Penasini. He bring his stats up. He hasn't been great for a while, and I'm a big fan of Will. But Russell's outplaying him at the moment. Like Will Penasini's stats yesterday: 8 runs, 52 meters, 1 offload, 12 tackles out of 14. So missed 2 tackles, which isn't that bad, and 2 tackle breaks. Like I honestly believe Will could be dropped. And then, whether Bailey goes, I think Lomax is going to stay on the wing. I honestly believe Lomax will stay on the wing now. I can't see him going back in the centres, but one thing could happen. Troy, what's your thoughts on that? You're a massive Will Penasini fan.
I am. Who's going to score my first try in games? I don't know. Then if that happens, look, maybe Jason Riles should consult his good mate Eddie Jones, who was at the game the other day in the coaching box. Maybe he's got a thought about it as well. I don't know, but I think does it depend on the injuries as well? So, I mean, Bailey's coming back from an ACL and Lomax is going to be coming back from a foot injury as well. So the different positions do different workloads, I guess, as well. Potentially Zach stays in the centres and Bailey stays on the wing. I don't know, but I think, you could be right, Adam. I hope not, but I think it will be, unfortunately, Russell who does get dropped. Which is a shame because I think he gets a lot of harsh criticism towards his way. I think at times he's a good first grader, but I think he'll be the one that's dropped.
Yeah. Like I said, form is everything. And I agree with you, Hummel. Like Sean Russell hasn't been that great, but Sean Russell in the centres, I don't think has played a bad game. He's been consistently good in the centres, and so is Bailey in the centres. And Zach in the centres hasn't been. And Will currently is the weakest player in our backline at the moment who needs to step it up. And it's a great problem to have because we haven't had this problem for quite a while. We haven't had the depth. But when you work it out, we're at full strength. And I haven't seen the New South Wales Cup team for this week. But if we look at the New South Wales Cup team for the weekend, we had some injuries as well. But when they're full strength and Zach does come back in, you're looking at a New South Wales Cup team that I can't seem if I can find of a back. Your centers would probably be Russell and maybe Penasini. Well, no, Sam Rani. And you got Richard Penasini there as well. And you got Hayes Dunstall in play that'll come back in as well. And you got Tago, who's currently out as well again. Like, it's a great problem to have. It's huge to have. So we'll see what happens and how they play that, obviously, in the upcoming weeks when that does actually happen, does return. Look, don't forget, guys, I'll say it once again. No giveaway thanks to League Club Night. We're not giving away the voucher tonight, but the man to the right of me, Jason Podesti, ex-advisory, stepped up. He's going to give away. Have you decided what you're going to give away yet?
Just whatever. What about like a 150 voucher or something? I don't know. Whatever. What do you want? Hoodie, voucher, jersey.
I need a new hoodie.
I reckon we go hoodie. It's getting cold, so let's go.
Yeah, I need a new one.
Let's go because you pick of the winner range. Remember that. This any winner range. We'll sort that out, obviously. So you like that?
Yeah, those hoodies are amazing. I still haven't got one of those new ones. I really like them.
No, neither have I.
I have to get one for myself as well.
Those hoodies are amazing. I still haven't got one. Okay, yeah. That's
He meant to throw in look amazing.
Oh, okay. Yep. So all you got to do, guys, share this podcast, comment, share once you've shared it, and let Jason give away a hoodie at the end of the podcast. You've got to be here to win that, obviously. If not, we will redraw. Guaranteed to go off. Guaranteed to jackpot. So make sure you comment, share. Yeah. Well, anything from the winner range. That's what we're going. Anything from the range. But it seems like he wants to give away a hoodie. All right, let's get on for some of the news from the week because there has been some news during the week, and we will start with this one. Just let me scroll up. I don't think I put. Yes, I did. All right. Look, obviously sensitive topic. We're going to talk about it. We obviously mentioned it last week, and I'd say we loosely celebrate him getting dropped, obviously not knowing what was going on. So I'll touch on that first. Obviously, we do have the sponsor time for a chat, and mental health is very important to all of us here. So as I said in the post, wishing Sean all the best, hoping that he can get back to his best his best health. And if that involves footy, then hopefully that's like it is in his future. But at the moment, obviously the main focus is Sean getting his head right, working out what he wants. We know he's obviously had a history of this mental health related problems across his life. So, Sean, sending some love thinking about you. We're not going to comment on it too much. Just want to put that out there. Wishing you all the best, and let's see what the future holds for Sean Lane. But other news, Joe Offengowie, gone, just like that. No one woke up expecting to see that happen, but Offengowie departed Parramatta. It was, look at that. That was cropped perfectly, Jason. I don't know what you're whinging about. That fits in there perfectly, that logo.
Talking about the other ones.
Yeah, that one, yeah, I know, because it's harder.
Oh, this one's good.
That was good, yeah. Let's stop you whinging. But Offengowie, off to Lee. Look, it's a no-brainer for me. He was going to be obviously moved on at the end of the year. I brought it up twice. I'm trying to shrink it. He's obviously free to talk to people as he is going to be moved on. And what this means is he's taken an offer now that's best for him and his family. And he's gone to Lee. Look, it's no surprise. Offengowie, I thought, was great last year. Hasn't offered as much this year. And we've got some good young forwards, like we mentioned, Moretti, Tuivasa, obviously coming through. Someone's got music playing in the background. Who's creating the tunes? Is that someone listening to Troy Singer?
It's not music. It was a motorbike going past. What a dick.
Oh, okay. Oh. Hayden versus motorbike.
Go and chase him, Hayden. Say, go. We're doing a podcast here.
Yeah. Anyway, Troy, before you talk over everyone again, your thoughts on the Offengowie departure?
I guess a little bit shocked, actually. I mean, we obviously don't know what really went on for him to leave immediately, but I guess it throws up a thing for the NRL, I guess, with all these contracts and get-out clauses and whatever. So, I mean, he's leaving Parramatta to go to England in like a few weeks' time. So why can't they just do one transfer thing and like June 30 and then players can sort that out? But yeah, look, wish him all the best over in England. England might suit his footy over there. 3.5-year deal is pretty good. So yeah, he had some good moments, good moments this season. and some not so good ones, but always good with the fans. Had a good chat to him at the season launch and was joking about his incident up at Newcastle pre-season, which was quite funny. But yeah, wish him all the best.
Just want to touch on this quickly. We have 2 spots available in our top 30 squad. We already had one, so that's not the reason he's been moved on. I did see the elephant in the room post. I've been told there's nothing to it. Maybe he just wasn't happy with obviously being told he wasn't required for next year. The clean out, obviously he was someone that was brought in by Brad Arthur. Read of it what you want. We've heard rumours that some players aren't buying into the new culture that Jason Rolls is trying to obviously bring in. One of those players has spent most of the time in, 2 of those players have spent most of their time in New South Wales Cup. One now appears to be gone and one appears to take a leave of absence. So read of what you want, but he's gone. So that's pretty much it. Hayden, off a fan, your thoughts on obviously the departure? Took you by surprise?
Yeah, it took me massive surprise finding out that one. I almost thought it was fake at first when I saw it, but realised April Fool's Day was a long time ago now. But yeah, as Troy said, Joe was really good with the fans. I thought when we were missing a little bit of leadership too, he brought some leadership and experience. So I think that's why Dylan Walker's such a good buy. Similar sort of role, brings that leadership there. So yeah, if it was, leaving just after being dropped, it is unfortunate. His form has dipped a little bit lately. But yeah, a few good years with Parramatta there.
Yep. Jack?
Yeah, look, I was really happy with him last year. I thought he was one of our better forwards. His form did dip a bit to start the year, but so did everyone. So I don't reading too much into that. But if he was told he wasn't needed as of next year and he's able to go find somewhere else, good on him. Do what's best for him and his family. League's pretty strong in England, so I think he will fit in right in. His aggression and his style of play will fit really well into the slower game there, so I think he'll kill it over there.
Yeah.
Might
your
win
thoughts
the Man of Steel.
Yeah,
You're annoying tonight. Have you been drinking? You're just annoying. I don't know why you're annoying me so much tonight. Are you annoying anyone else? We can raise our hands.
I think he looks great.
Yeah, thanks,
chuck it
Jack.
out there.
Really appreciate that. Thanks,
I
mate.
feel like he's wearing maroon, so I'll comment on that. Good work.
It's red, you idiot.
Workplace bullying. Don't do that. You can't say
Don't
stuff.
call people
See,
names.
it rubs off at him. It rubs off.
That's it. I've decided we don't want Troy part of this podcast anymore. All right. So the boys have come together and decided Troy's gone for the rest of the night. So Hayden, we'll let you have your say, then we'll bring Troy back.
I haven't had my say.
I've already had my say. It's Jason, mate.
Then we'll bring Troy back without interruption.
Look, Joffa's actually a top bloke, and we've spoken to him many times. He was always happy to chat to us and be honest with us and tell us what's going on. And look, maybe just great for him. 3.5 years, decent situation over there, moving his family and stuff. I thought his posts to the Lay fans, is it Lee or Lay fans, was a bit awkward. He actually seemed a bit sad talking about moving over there. But besides that, look, he's a top bloke. Also, just want to say, Sean Lane, I wish you the best, mate. And what I'm actually hoping for is, especially in light of all this stuff with Galvin and workplace bullying and putting that on the map in rugby league, is that our club is doing, I guess, being proactive and doing the right thing by someone who admittedly has struggled with mental health. He's done a doco on it. He always seems to be down and out, and I hope everything's okay. And I would love, not saying that he can't get back to good form and play footy, but it'd be great to offer him a role and promote that and be an ambassador for mental health in rugby league and on behalf of the club and do that and make sure that that type of thing is happening in our club, because the way the laws are changing and with workplace bullying and cyberbullying, Galvin's situation has brought a lot of light onto it. So if we can have an advocate, an ambassador that's focusing on that, that'd be great for the club as well. But not necessarily saying it has to be him, but it seems like he might be well suited to do that. So good luck to him. Good luck to Joffa.
Yeah, you're actually right. And our club has gone a long way. I've heard of some situations a while back where, we weren't the best in related to obviously the mental health situation and players suffering from that, but they have done a lot lately to obviously improve that. So obviously we know Laney is getting the support he needs, and we're looking into in the process of sorting out doing a mental health charity event later in the year at Parra Leagues Club. We haven't confirmed that. As soon as we can confirm it, we'll let everyone know. But we're supporting a charity. Obviously, time for a chat to be involved in that and some other people to be involved. Look, it's up to you guys. A lot of people asking the question. If you want Troy back, just let us know. If not, we can send him for 5 more. He's getting a great one. He's got 10 in the bin. If you want him to come back, let us know. If you don't, he's sitting there with his arms. Well, you just can't see him. I can still see him on screen. He's sitting back like this, like he's had a hard day on the podcast when he's, as usual, contributed absolutely fuck all. All right, let's move on from that news. 5 more minutes. Andrew said 5 more minutes. Well, because Andrew said it, and we obviously don't care about him either. We'll bring Troy in. All right, there you go, Troy.
I'm back.
The people wanted you back, Troy.
Troy, do you feel bullied in the workplace?
He bullied Hayden. That's why he got sent. Hey,
yeah. Look, I just want to address Caleb's comment there. I was more like reading a poem when I was singing. If Caleb knew the song, it's actually not really a singing song. It's like a lot of speaking song. So I didn't see.
Had to happen.
I didn't see Caleb jump up there and sing karaoke. But anyway. Thank you to all the fans who want to be back too, by the way.
You talked karaoke. All right. Looking at this injury award quickly, this is the last week update. Obviously, as we updated this week, hopefully we didn't pick up any more injuries, but it's getting a lot better. I said Joey Lussick, thumb, round 11. Zach Lomax, foot fracture, saying round 12. I'm hearing round 11, potentially earlier. Magic round. Is that round 9? What round are we up to? 7, 8, 9? Yeah, could be round 9. Jake Togo hit round 8, 9, and Arthur Milstead, as we touched on, is out for the season with that second ACL. So just the fact Moses wasn't on there in return, it looks so much better. But moving on from that, we haven't got a game day to preview, so we haven't got a lot else to talk about. But I want to touch on the weekend's results as well. I was lucky enough, went out with the SG Ball, and I didn't quite catch the Lisa Fiola and Tertia Gale matches because they moved the games. I didn't really see it advertised anywhere from Blacktown to Penrith. I wasn't quite aware of that. So I was heading to Blacktown, then had to quickly duck out to Penrith. And I rang Troy and he wasn't home, of course. So I was lost in Penrith. But Lisa Fiola Cup had a 26-12 win there through the prelim final this week. Tertia Gale had a 28-14 win now. The games are all over the place where they are this week. So I'm going to quickly touch on these two first. It's going to be a nightmare for anyone that wants to get out and watch them. And the New South Wales Rugby League app works as well as New South Wales Rugby League refs did on the weekend. But the Tertia Gale, they play at 11:30 on Saturday at Dudley Chesman Sports Ground, the Oaks, wherever that is. That's near Parramatta, isn't it, somewhere, the Oaks? Anyone live down there, Troy?
Hills District, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I believe it is, yeah. It's one of our juniors, but I don't actually know how to get there. So they're there. Lisa Fiola Cup, they play at 10 a.m. at the same ground, but then this is where it gets quite frustrating, quite annoying. SG Ball Cup play on the Saturday at 11:30, so same time kickoff at Redfern Oval against the Rabbitohs. All prelim finals, 3 junior rep teams all there. Now, the SG Ball had a 24-12 win. I did watch this game. It was a good game. It was a physical game. They still weren't at their best. They haven't been at their best in the finals. Obviously went through undefeated for the year, but some absolute stars coming through that team and stood up and got the win when they needed to. And I want to give 2 players a shout out because we've obviously spoken about some of the big ones, the ones we've all got to know: Dom Ferrugia, Lincoln Fletcher, Lorenzo Tolatina, Lachlan Kanakis. I want to give Ryder Talangi a shout out. We obviously heard some big things about Ryder. Absolute machine in the front row, just did not stop defending, ran hard. Every carry he bent that line and got a quick play of the ball. And I was also looking for an offload. Wouldn't be surprised if he's not ready to go next year. And the other one was Josiah Funa Luta. I've been practicing that. He was absolutely superb. Look, going to do that cross show over thing again and give 60s the Cumberland throw a shout out because talking at the game, standing with him, he's the one he said to watch. He goes, I think there's a fair chance he'll be in New South Wales Cup by the end of the year. And there's obviously some pretty good young talented players in that team, but this kid looks like he's ready. Like he looks like he could walk onto a first grade team tomorrow and play in the second row. And everyone says we need to sign a second row as a week. I'm going to put my house on it because I now have a joint house, so I get in trouble for that. But I would say that he will be in first grade round 1 next year. I'll be very surprised if he's not. The kid looks ready to go, and right at Talangi could be the same. But Cameron Bemlett, the fullback was an absolute star. He was the star of the day in that backline move. So do it a prelim final. Obviously, finish year first. Play South Sydney, who finished third, and let's hope those three teams can get to obviously a grand final, which hopefully will be at Combank the week after. So, if you're around the areas of the Oaks or Redfern, and no one wants to be around Redfern, but if you are around Redfern, obviously get out there and watch those games if you can. Support the future. Get questions in, guys.
What was it this week? Every single team won.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Mark O'Neill, good friend of the show, Mark O'Neill, and what's he? Sorry, I'm just reading Jeremy's comment here. He's one of my mates who's a Knights fan. They're talking Parra, but no, I can't. Yes, Troy, what do you got to say? Raise your hand.
I'd just like to back up Andrew's comment there. I thought it was the Tarsha Gale Cup, not the Tersha.
Probably was. Well, it's spelt Tersha, Tersha. Tarsha would be TA.
It's
Yeah, I
spelled
think it is.
TA.
There you go.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
That's okay.
Right.
We all
it's
make
all right. We all make mistakes, Adam.
just like Troy when he opens his mouth.
I was going to say Troy's parents 68 years ago made one, but anyway, it's a whole other story for a different day. But this is what happens when we've got no footy. We start waffling too much shit. Get your questions in. Give us something to talk about. Because we haven't got much else. We can't do bold predictions. We got no. I'm going to go crazy this week.
Let's talk about the predictions, Adam.
Oh, here we
about
go.
The ones we got right or close to.
All right. Well, Troy's pretty happy with himself because he got the first try scorer. He got half of his bold prediction, and he was close with the score. Probably the closest he's ever gone with 42-20 with a 38-22 score line. That's pretty good from you, Troy.
It is. It is.
Unfortunately for you, getting the bold prediction right is worth 1,000 points.
Oh,
And unluckily for you, someone nailed their bold prediction, so sits on top with 1,000 points once again.
But if you look at the NRL website, it's only 3 try assists.
Mate, Fox League everywhere. Supercoach. We're going off Supercoach. NRL.
You were closest with the score, Adam, weren't you? 22-point win? Oh, no, 20 margin, sorry.
Yeah, we don't go off margin. We go off the score. What do you got to say,
I was
Jason? Everyone's
close.
raising their hands here.
Change the
I was
rules
closest.
again.
38-24, I said, didn't I?
I don't know. I haven't even got yours on here. Nah. You didn't say 38-24, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. 38-24.
So you're going to take Troy's one good moment on this podcast in 4 years off him. Hang on. I'll get it up and we'll have a look, eh?
I always get ripped off.
Anyway, we're having a look. He's not a great punter, Troy, so let's see how he went. Photos. Jason's prediction. He was 38-24. So he's heaps closer. Sorry, Troy.
By 2 points.
Yeah.
I got our score right.
You got our score. Yeah, that's perfect. Sorry, Jason. I'll give you the credit there. You get half a point. You don't get a full point.
And that's worth 50,000 points.
No, it's not. The only bold prediction's worth 1,000. Wait, I'd remove him, but he's the one that scares me in relation to work. How do you have 1,000 points? What have you done? Can't remember. Does anyone remember what he predicted?
All right, we got a mad flog in the comments.
Who?
Is that Mr. Peter?
Someone making sure.
Oh, here we go.
Shout out, Peter.
Hey, Peter. How you doing, mate?
Hey, love you. Oh.
I'm glad Peter, like guys, for those who don't know, Peter likes to get in our comments and just comment the same stuff. He needs a Snickers, so we're good at bringing on sponsors. Actually, Peter, send the page a message. I'm pretty sure Bay Vista, our new sponsor, actually do some kind of Snickers dessert, so we'll send you down there and you might be a bit happier. I'm glad you finally worked out how to join a live stream instead of just commenting it. But look, there's certainly those of the game certainly know there is no love with the club, that's for sure. So I don't know where you're going to think. We went into the field club again, me and Jason. That was the Tigers. The Tigers looked after us a bit there, and we all went in, but we obviously spent our own money on that. And Jason's business credit card, as he likes to say. So we're
and
in
I
there.
sat up in the plebs general admission next to the Swarm. So there
You've been in there twice this year already. You've been taking
I'm
it.
just saying to Peter, I don't get in there all the time. I was up with the supporters up with near Hayden.
I haven't been there.
I'm just saying that.
Hayden hasn't been there because I've put Hayden in charge of running the Swarm. So he's running the Swarm, and you've been in there. And look, no offense, Hayden, you're a 3-drink wonder. And Troy has about 20 drinks, so he's definitely better value for money. Don't you agree, Jason? You've obviously taken him in there. You got your value for money out of Troy, so it's
He appreciates the
I'm
relish as well.
gonna make sure I don't drive and I can get home safely when I'm
Sorry, Ryan, mate. No, it was a joy.
No. We've got to touch on this quickly because we ended up with a spare box ticket yesterday. And Ryan is a really good bloke, Troy, and you probably don't know this. Now, we were trying to take Beck's father in, but he's incapable of answering his phone because what actually happened, Oscar had the ticket. Oscar Tokes, Euro Work, sponsor of the podcast, has been joining us in the comments. As he says, he lives here. Now, he had a spare ticket because his brother got caught in that Mooney traffic and couldn't get through. I tried to offer it to Ryan. Ryan's looked after us, helped us out a lot over the last couple of years with some flyers and stuff. And he actually declined this because he said he didn't want to leave a man behind and he didn't want to leave you there by yourself. Now, Troy, if I offered you to come in for free food and alcohol, would you have left Ryan? Be honest.
No, I wouldn't have left there. I already arranged to be up there anyway.
Who reckons he's telling the truth? Who reckons Troy would have just dropped him like that and been in there? Yeah, we all do. Don't worry. It's a safe place.
No, because I wasn't just with Ryan either.
Everyone knows you would have done it. So poor Ryan.
I wouldn't have. I had other people that I was sitting with, so I would not have done that.
All right, guys. Let's talk about how many teams need to lose and by what, so we can come 15th.
No, we're not gonna.
We just need Manly and Dragons to win, and we're sweet.
All right, I'm gonna draw this competition. Then we're gonna get some questions. If you've asked a question, I haven't been able to start it, so don't ask it yet. I'm just gonna draw this competition. I haven't got Matt here playing. What's it called? Producer tonight. So I'm all over the place trying to do stuff. And look, that was already set at 31. That was perfect. All right, so 31, pretty random. 31 people in this to win it. You've got to be here to claim it. You've got 30 seconds after we draw it. The number is 20. It's always a high
22.
22. I'm counting them. No one else counting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Gee. All right. Tori Preslin, you're up. So if you're here, you got 30 seconds to claim it. If not, we'll do a redraw. Time starts now. Let us know. 30 seconds. There's no music cracking on.
Oh, flame trees,
Weary driver.
Please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
There's...
She's here. She said she's here. All right, Tori, page, whatever you want to do, and we'll sort that out for you, whatever you want. So have a look, and Jace, ex-advisor, gets her. All right, get your final questions in. Peter's back. Peter's double down. Oh, okay. Apparently our opinions have been. What do you want our opinions to be?
Does Peter need a hug?
Peter's got the root finger up in his profile. Let us. I want to give you one back, Peter.
Maybe Peter really is a lover of the podcast. He's bought too many beers from Riverside Brewing Company, and he's smashed all of them tonight. Perhaps.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe he needs some time for a chat.
Well, he needs some work, but it's not Euro work, that's for sure. He needs some work. But we're not going to talk about Peter anymore, guys. Not like Peter, I haven't blocked you because you're entitled to your opinion and you just keep having it. But your opinion's completely fucking out of touch. Like, to be honest, like the club hasn't done anything for us. Parramatta Leagues Club has sponsored us, but there's absolutely nothing. We can give whatever criticism we want. We're actually just smart men when it comes to football. Well, okay. 4 of us on this podcast are smart men when it comes to football. And Troy, we didn't say you. You just assumed it was you. And what that means is...
But if the shoe fits.
Yeah, there is... There is... What it means is we know that things are going to take time. And I've explained this to you before, but you don't seem to get it through your thick skull. We know things are going to take time. All right? Change takes time. You turn it around and you're saying, okay, the board has to go, all this kind of stuff. Mate, we were with you last year, but we've heard their stories. We've sat down, we've listened to them. We know the job they're changing. We know what structures they've put into place. it's going to take time. Like, things don't happen overnight. Every single person can see that change is happening the way we play football. Change is happening for the fans. Me and Troy are part of the SGA, which we haven't had to sign a thing for, have we, Troy, to say we can't say what we want? There's been absolutely nothing there. No expectation of us from that. The whole point of the SGA is to make things better for fans, to make things like your fans yourself, Peter, who obviously aren't happy about stuff. Mate, instead of sitting there every second day commenting some waffle or shit about how we've been bought out, send us your concerns and we'll get some answers for you. All right? So if you can construct a full sentence together, do that for us and we'll see what we can do. All right? That's all I want to say to you. I'm not addressing anymore. Has anyone else got any questions?
But it's on the proviso that his grammar and spelling is correct.
Well, that ain't going to happen. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think we've got any more questions.
No, there was a few people asking about Origin.
Gerald's asked about Moses playing Origin about 3 times now, I think.
Who has? Sorry?
Cheryl Burke wants to know if Moses will play Origin. I've seen it about 3 times now, I think.
All right.
He's playing Origin.
Laurie will pick him.
He's playing.
Are we talking as a New South Wales fan or as a Parramatta fan?
We're talking as an objective viewer of football, of rugby league.
Should be him and Cleary. No, him and Luai went up against each other, and Luai did a whole sweet fuck all.
Don't we have a pretty good draw during the Origin period anyway?
We do, but it's about getting injured. You know my opinion of it, and Mitch isn't happy, obviously, with my opinion of it. He's made that pretty obvious, but in my opinion, I don't believe he should be playing Origin, and some people won't agree with it, but I think he should be putting Parramatta first. He's played 9 games for Parramatta in the last 2 years. Yes, it's great to have him at this high level, and we all get excited as a New South Wales fan. I'm talking to Peter Wynn on the weekend. I've already started ordering when they come in next week. My Moses 7, fuck, I hope he plays 7. He might wear 6. I probably should hold off on that. But my Moses, my New South Wales jersey for me and Lucas with Moses on the back, and I really want him to do that, but I also don't want him to get hurt. My priority is Parramatta, not New South Wales, and I would hope Mitch is the same. Question, well, this is a good one. Tell us all your best Parra stories you have. I'm going to turn this into the best game you've ever been to. I'm not going to go to you, Hayden. Jack, the best Parramatta game you've ever been to?
2023, I believe it was round 4 when we versed Penrith, the grand final rematch when we won an extra time. I flew down Chriso for his birthday, and the man got a little bit too tipsy, started feeding it to every Penrith fan alive, and it was beautiful to watch. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was actually at that game as well in the Legends Lounge. No thanks to the club. That was thanks to my own money again. And that was the first time I've actually ever done a game in a box. It was with my brother and my old next door neighbor, and I drove home. They certainly were not capable of driving anything for a week. They took advantage of that bar. Troy, your best experience?
2017 Suncorp Stadium, Semi-Rad Radra, 4 tries, and I think they were 4 length of the field tries, I think. That was absolutely amazing. And, what a game that was. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that was the game, too, that Kurosami Avar scored the fastest try as well in the NRL. Yeah.
You're right. I was there at that game as well. It's funny, I've been to all these games. I was there with Troy.
Was I.
I was there at Troy with that game, and we touched them up a couple of weeks earlier at a core stadium, and you know that old thing where they say you don't beat a team twice in 6 weeks? The percentage was even higher back then. I was thinking to myself, we're no chance this game. I was so nervous, and the fact we had them down 24-0 early, and every time they scored was a great day out.
They're still doing it.
I've unfortunately got 3. 2012.
No, the girls won.
Hindmarsh and Berto's retirement. That was the last game that I went with my dad. So I always remember that. 2019, the fight was a semi against Broncos. We pumped them 52, whatever it was,
58
nil.
58-4. That was amazing.
Neil.
That was absolutely
Neil didn't score a try, Jay.
Was it Neil? Oh, there you go.
It was Neil. Even better.
That was one of the most amazing games to be at. And then 2022, I think it was semi against the Raiders at home. The first time since 2009 that we got into a prelim. I got absolutely blind drunk out of my mind on red wine and Coke. And I was found by my best mate.
You were
passed out next to my car.
Coke, yeah.
Yeah, red wine and Coca-Cola, because that was the
good.
best on offer in the package. No spirits. And I was found just passed out by security
You get drunk
guard.
off Coca-Cola, may I add? Yeah,
red
okay,
wine,
whatever.
endless red wine.
Can I chime in here with a bit of a different answer to of what you were expecting, Adam?
Yeah, you can. I'm just going to highlight this one first. Michael, sometime at podcast enthusiast, prelim 09. Yep, was great. Everyone will agree with that one. Melbourne at Parra 2010 when they returned. I remember that game. Me and him went down to that. And it was pretty much in the middle of a low pressure system. It was sold out. There was about 7,000 Parra fans turned up just after the salary cap cheat thing broke out. And it was I watched that game back not that long ago. It was on Fox Sports. And it was wild. That crowd, I don't know how more people didn't get arrested that night in the 2022 and the Raiders starting the Viking Club. Michael Troy, you've had your say. It's Hayden's say. This is what we talk about, building team spirit. You don't have to cut in all the time, okay? That's why we bully you, Hayden.
Well, I want to chuck in an away game here because I know like that game against the Cowboys that we got into the grand final, that's definitely up there for me. But you know what? Another one for me is going down to Canberra and breaking that hoodoo of 14, 15 years. And not only doing that, we went up by 24 points. Me and Nan drove down to Canberra and Isaiah Papali'i just ran over the top of Josh Papali'i. We were on fire all night. I think Wonga Blake had a pretty good night. That was a massive win down there in Canberra, breaking the hoodoo after all these years. I think it was 35-10. I think we kicked a field goal, actually.
Cool. Thanks, Hayden. Thanks for your input.
There's a comment from Mika that the night that I lost my scarf, and it's just, I've got those two new ones now. One of them Mika bought for me, the absolute fucking legend. But that scarf was my dad's scarf. And I lost it that night at the Raiders game semi because I was so blind drunk out of my mind that I did not remember where I left it. And I was devastated for like a good year or how long it was until Mika heard the story and the absolute legend bought me a new one. So shout out to Mika Martin, the absolute bloody legend.
Speaking of that game, and you just mentioned it here, the Viking Club. Look, Michael was the one that started that Viking Club. He turned to me and he goes, he'd spoken about it all week. He goes, this is the moment, let's go. And we went in the middle of that Parramatta Eels Bay and we got that Viking Club going. I don't think we've beaten Canberra since, have we? So, yeah, it's going really well for us. They haven't forgotten. Look, mine, couple to touch on. 2005, Young Buck, Parramatta versus Newcastle, obviously being a Newcastle or Maitland boy living up here. 50-0 beating Newcastle in one of their worst years. So they hadn't won a game. And it was a game where there was about, I've never been able to find a replay of this game, and I'd love to. There was 15,000 people at that game. There was probably about 9,000 Parramatta fans. And it was one of the craziest moments. There was Newcastle fans walking out crying and their tears tasted fucking glorious. It was wonderful. And I remember just walking out and old Mavis from Mayfield. I was a 14-year-old kid giving me a gobful to go back to Western Sydney and all this kind of stuff. Peter, go to bed, mate. You're going to give yourself a fucking stroke. And she's going, go back to Western Sydney. And I'm like, I live half an hour the road. It was my first experience.
I love that saying.
Go back to Western Sydney when Troy's touch on the other one, 2017 was a great experience going up there to that. 2009 wonderful, but I can't go past 2022. The 2022 takeover of Townsville. We had 1,000 Parramatta fans there. We all gathered at a pub. Obviously, the night during the day. What time we get the pub? Hayden, about 12 o'clock. It was a 5:30 kickoff, 7:30 kickoff. Whatever way, we got the pub way too early, and it was that hot and sweaty. Even this bloke here who sniffs a bit of alcohol and is blind, we were drinking all day, but we were sweating every time we had a drink to get up to go to the toilet. Then none of us were drunk. We took over the pub. We had these RAF boys or army boys next to us giving us shit the whole time, and we made some noise. We climbed the Jonathan Thurston statue. It's a memory I'll take to the grave with me, especially if we never win a grand final. It was just a glorious moment. Took over the pub after and celebrated till 4 a.m. and didn't want to talk about the week after, but what a day it was. Yeah, and that moment, he didn't almost faint. He fainted. And to this day, the only way I know he fainted, because I was that in the moment, was his video. Because I have never seen him faint yet. It was a wonderful day.
Never will again.
Because you'll never have that moment again. Like, just to travel up there in the heat, that's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. In the heat, the big day, the takeover, and it was just It was so good. All right, that's all we've got time for. Obviously, no game this weekend means no game day podcast.
What happened to the Here Comes the Money post with KPP, Dylan Brown, and Galvin?
Oh, you want nothing to say about that? Just nothing to say at all. Just watch the space. All right, so no game day podcast this week because there's no game day. Like I said, get out and support those junior teams as well if you can and you're around the area. And we'll be back next Tuesday night, obviously previewing Magic Round. And that's all we have time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. See you next Tuesday.
Go the Dragons! Get us off the bottom of the ladder!